Hey everyone, thank you so much for coming to check out my session, Engaging Your Audience with Highly Personalized Email Content. I'm so excited that you're here, and I hope that you find this session helpful in leveling up your email marketing strategy. I truly believe that personalizing the content in your emails for your very specific audiences is the key to getting more opens, more click-throughs to your websites, more sales, and more engagement with your audience. But don't just take my word for it. Last year, one study found that 72% of customers engaged with marketing messages only if they were customized to their interests. And that's because people want to hear about what matters to them and not just generic information. Think about the emails that get you to click and open. Does it feel like something that you would be interested in? So with this knowledge, how can you easily manage your subscribers and deliver more relevant content to them via email? I'll get there, but first I wanted to take a minute to introduce myself. My name is Kelly Forst, and I'm the marketing specialist at AWeber, which basically means I wear a lot of hats. I'm an email marketing expert, and I find email as a communication channel just so much fun and absolutely fascinating because it's always changing and evolving. I conduct AWeber's own email marketing strategy, so I'm always looking at testing out different things to see what works and what doesn't for our audience. But I also work on the marketing team across a few different functions, including content marketing, lead generation, podcasting, search engine optimization, and more. And if you've never heard of AWeber, to give you a little bit of background, we are an email marketing provider for small businesses and content creators like yourself. We've been in the game for over 20 years, and we know email marketing backwards and forwards and are constantly incorporating new features and changing up the platform to create a really awesome experience for our users. And if after the session you have any questions or you just want to geek out about email marketing more, shoot me an email. My email address is here on the screen, or connect with me on Twitter or LinkedIn. I'd be more than happy to chat. So what can you expect to get out of today's session? First of all, I'm going to start by running through the fastest overview of email marketing you've ever heard. No fuss, just straight facts to make sure we all have a baseline understanding of what email marketing is and why it's important before we dive into the deeper stuff. Once we get the basics out of the way, I'm going to talk through some common myths that you may know about email personalization and let you in on a secret only the best email marketers know about creating content that your audience is just bound to love over and over again. And by the end of the session, I hope that you're confident creating amazing emails that help you connect with your audience in a much deeper way. You'll also learn more about them, and you can send tailored, customized content to different groups of your audience based on what you know they like. All right, so I promised you the fastest overview of email marketing ever. Let's do this. Email is a way to communicate directly with your audience. And it's an audience that you know already wants to hear from you. Since it's an opt-in communication channel, when a subscriber hands over their email address, it's basically them telling you, I trust you enough and I value what you have to say enough to invite you into my space. And it's a great way to create opportunities for interaction with your audience in a place that you don't need to fight algorithms to talk to them. I saw a study recently that said something like only 10% of your followers on Instagram actually see your posts. Now, I'm sure that fluctuates based on engagement and a bunch of other factors, but still, 10%. With email, thankfully, you don't need to overcome that issue. Plus, you own your email list, which is different than on social media where you don't own your followers. Your favorite social channel could shut down tomorrow or have an outage, and you have a major release or launch or new product that you want to share with them, but you can't. So how do you communicate with them if you don't have an email list? And finally, email is an intimate two-way communication medium that lets you speak to people in personal ways. It really does work best when it's personal and tailored to your audience. And thankfully, there's tactics like segmentation that I'm going to go through today that let you break your list into smaller groups and send really personalized content. And one thing I just want everyone to know up front, if you want to be successful with email marketing, you have to keep this in mind. Every quality email on your list represents a real person. Don't think of them as just these nameless faces that you have to game and optimize try to think of them as a group of people who have desires, obligations, and concerns similar to your friends and family. Email works best when you're writing to one person at a time, when you're visualizing that person that you're wanting to connect with and you speak to them. All right, so I know you're excited to get to the good stuff. I won't leave you waiting anymore, so let's talk about personalizing your emails. When you think about email personalization, what do you think of? Maybe the first thing to come to mind is including your subscriber's name in your subject line or addressing them like you would in a letter in the greeting. Sure, but let's get something crystal clear. Personalization is more than including a name in a subject line or in the greeting of an email. It's so much deeper than that, and it involves truly knowing and understanding who your subscribers are and what they're interested in. So today I'll give you 3 personalization strategies for your emails, and then talk about how you can personalize the entire customer journey by incorporating landing pages into your email marketing strategy. So first, let's talk about segmentation. And segmentation is the act of breaking up your email list into groups of subscribers with a shared set of characteristics or actions. And segmentation happens everywhere, and you may not even realize it because you're engaging with it. YouTube and Netflix suggest videos or shows based on your past viewing behavior all the time. And if you take a look at my Netflix suggestions versus my partner's Netflix suggestions, you'll see some pretty huge differences on our home screens. I have absolutely nothing to do with horror movies or anime, but his is packed with those recommendations, and I don't want to see them. And Amazon does something similar, where they'll suggest products related to past purchases, searches, or products that you may have saved in your cart. So what's the takeaway here? It's that segmentation done really well means your subscribers may not even notice. They'll just be really happy that you're sending them content that they actually want. And when it comes to email marketing, segmentation is actually pretty simple. It's really all about sending the right people the right content at the right time, and they'll be a lot more likely to take the action that you want them to take. And by automating your email campaigns, you actually will get to save some time in the long run. Now let's unpack that for a minute. Do you ever feel like your subscribers are faceless names on a list that you don't know anything about them other than the fact that they signed up for your list, so they obviously must be pretty great people? There's so much you can learn about your email subscribers. And as you start to gain this knowledge and understand who they are as people, what they've come to you for help with, and who they hope to become, they start to become real people who you can speak to directly. Now, yes, this is my mom. And while knowing that she loves dogs may not actually help you as someone in the financial creator space, the other descriptors probably will help you better communicate with her. And having this information about one person sounds great, but how do you collect this information and manage sending hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands of emails to people on your list who are obviously going to be different? It's a lot easier than it sounds, I promise. There are a bunch of ways you can group your subscriber list together. For instance, you can build a segment of people based on their personal finance goal. Maybe you have a group of people who are working on saving for retirement or who are paying off college debt. You can also build a segment of people based on their engagement with you. So you can send emails to a segment of people who have opened an email from you within the past 30 days or even a year, whatever that time domain may be that you want to engage with. And depending on your email service provider, you could even think about creating a dynamic segment of people who are engaged with you or have opened an email from you recently and who are saving for retirement. So remember the name tags here? In Aweber and in other reputable email service providers, you can segment your list and categorize groups of your subscribers using something called tags. And tags are basically labels that help you identify your subscribers based on their actions or characteristics. You can use them to build segments or to trigger automated email campaigns that you set up in advance. And by tagging your subscribers, you ultimately have more data about them. And one of the best ways to improve your marketing is to understand your audience better. And to do that, you need more data. So tags let you collect all sorts of information about your subscribers, like where they signed up for your list, what emails they're opening, what links they're clicking, what products they're purchasing or even interested in, and so much more. So let's go through an example here. If I wanted to segment my email list by interest and send emails according to what my subscribers' most immediate financial goal is, there are a couple ways I could add tags to a subscriber. So let's go back to Jenny, for example. If Jenny opens emails consistently that indicate retirement in the subject line, or maybe she clicks on links to read retirement savings advice, I could apply the tag retirement in my email service provider. If you're not confident that those actions alone are enough to categorize your subscribers, you can also ask them upfront in a sign-up form or landing page what their top financial goal is. Then give them options to self-select and apply those tags accordingly. Or you can apply a tag to a specific sign-up form or landing page. And this is great if you have multiple lead magnets and you want to know which lead magnet your subscriber signed up for. So if Jenny signed up to receive a download called 10 Ways to Save for Retirement While Living the Life of Your Dreams Right Now, you could tag her that way. So let's go through a couple of examples to help you visualize tagging a subscriber at the point of opt-in. Here's a sign-up form for the guide that I just mentioned, 10 Ways to Save for Retirement While Living the Life of Your Dreams Right Now. When Jenny submits her name and email address to access this guide, a tag will be applied that indicates her interest in this guide. So in this case, I set up this form so when someone signs up, a tag retirement guide is applied. And here's a different sign-up form, but here the tags are based on self-selected interest. So here, Jenny is signing up for a weekly personal finance newsletter to get video tips and written thoughts from the author. And since she's selected retirement as her top financial goal here from a list of a drop-down menu, which probably had other options like saving for a wedding or paying off college debt or saving for a child's college education, she will have a tag applied with that specific financial goal in mind. And then the author can send her relevant content through an automated email series. So let's say in this fictional example that this author has 3 lead magnets, one geared towards saving for retirement, one for paying off college loans, and another saving for their first house. You can see how tagging your subscribers according to the lead magnet can trigger a series of emails that sends highly personalized content to them. So since Jenny received the retirement tag, she will receive this series of automated emails with customized information about retirement. You'll see her first email in this series delivers the retirement savings guide that she was promised. The second email maybe sends a podcast episode covering retirement saving strategies. And the third email, the author asks about other financial goals that she might have. So let's say in this instance, she clicks pay for a child's education, and a new tag is going to be applied, triggering a new campaign with relevant content. So you can see how you can get pretty creative building these email campaigns that are highly personalized according to subscribers' areas of interest and really start to build out email funnels that are automated, that ultimately save you time in the long run and really give your subscribers exactly what they want. Now here's a few examples from one of our customers, Ryan Scribner, who has a popular YouTube channel teaching subscribers about investing and making money. And he has a bunch of specific lead magnets covering a range of topics available on his site. And he likely knows that the person who downloads his crowd-funded real estate investing guide, someone who downloads that next guide in this series, the Airbnb host guide, and someone shopping for a robo-advisor are likely different people and probably want to receive different content and don't want to be talked to the same way. So he delivers each guide using email marketing and tailors the content and the offers within accordingly. And because sending the right content to the right people at the right time is going to lead to more opens, clicks, sales, and engagement. So what are some other ways that you can apply a tag? You can also apply a tag based on subscriber engagement with your emails. So say you want to send an email to someone who clicked a specific link within your email. You can do that through segmentation. You can also segment based on email opens. Maybe you want to just send a segment to people who have opened very recently, or maybe people who haven't opened at all if you want to do a retargeting campaign, or even page hits on your website. And finally, you can tag based on customer status. So going back to page hits for a moment. If one of your subscribers reaches a thank you for purchasing page, you can apply a tag that indicates that subscriber is now a customer and purchased a specific product. Now, a lot of people prefer to keep customers and prospects on two separate lists, and that's totally fine, but many also choose to try to do this in a one list model. Now, for the purposes of this discussion around segmentation, I'm mainly just talking about a one list model here, but did also want to bring up that you can do this in two different lists. Now, I know you're eager to start sending personalized emails, but hold on just a few more minutes, because there's going to be a few other ways I want to cover that can help you send more personalized content in your emails. And one of those ways is through dynamic content. And you may have heard of this before. Basically what it does, dynamic email content allows you to tailor your email messages to the interests of each subscriber just in a slightly different way. And how dynamic content works will vary across different email service providers, but in Aweber you can make use of dynamic email content anywhere in our message editor, including in the subject line field. So this is an example of an email I sent recently to people who subscribe to our podcast, The Forward Thinking Show. And I wanted to personalize the greeting, but I know that there are some subscribers' names I don't have, and some that aren't capitalized. And quite frankly, that bothers me a little bit because I like to be grammatically correct. So I used dynamic content to indicate if I have the data for someone's first name, it will be shown with the first letter capitalized. And if I don't have the first name at all, the word that will show is friend. And that's what this piece of code is here. And what you need to know is that dynamic content is written using these little snippets of code that is basically set up to pull specific subscriber and list information into messages. You can also use these variables as well as other codes like operators and comparison operators to display specific content as long as certain conditions are met. So here's an example of someone using a custom field to send a picture of a dog to someone who indicated that their favorite pet is a dog. You could also include code that would make this a cat picture if someone chose cat, for instance. And I know if you don't know how to code or this looks confusing to you, I just want to reassure you that it sounds harder than it is. And if you're interested in learning more about how to use dynamic content, Aweber has some awesome help articles. If you are using Aweber and you're interested in learning more about dynamic content in your emails, you can access those links in the landing page I put on the very first slide of this. And don't worry if you didn't catch it in the beginning. I'm going to share it at the end of the presentation as well. But basically created this landing page for all of you out there who are listening to this presentation to access the resources I talk about here, as well as download the slides. You can also send personalized content based on integrations that you have set up and connected to your email service provider. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time on this one since this is highly varied and personal based on your business and which email service providers you use and a lot of other factors. But I just wanted to bring up that integrating your email marketing with the tools you use every day can help you grow your audience, tag prospects based on interest or buying habits to send more relevant and personalized emails, automate your email campaigns, and send even cart abandonment emails to close more sales. And like I said, depending on the tools you use, maybe it's e-commerce platforms or webinar services, membership platforms, survey tools, etc., you can see how knowing data from these tools might be useful in helping you send targeted content. Finally, I want to leave you with one super quick example of how you can personalize the whole customer journey with tools like landing pages. And landing pages are tools that are often involved or incorporated into email service providers. like Aweber. You can access landing page tools. And there are 2 ways you can use landing pages to make your customer's journey feel even more custom. First, you can drive your email audience to custom landing pages with product offers, discounts. Maybe you want to run a challenge or offer exclusive content. So, for example, if you offer a financial literacy course that teaches children the value of money, send subscribers you know who are parents to that landing page to access that offer. And the second way is to drive your audience on social networks in conference presentations like this one, even in real life or on your website or really anywhere you have a presence, to your landing page to collect email addresses and tag them appropriately so that you can communicate with them going forward. And like I mentioned, I set up a landing page specifically for you, and I'm going to use it in this example here. And quite possibly, this is the smoothest way I've ever ended a presentation. So this is an example of what I was just talking about regarding driving a specific audience to a landing page with personalized content so that I can deliver even more personalized content if you choose to subscribe. I created this landing page for you. It has all the slides from today's presentation. It has additional resources that you may like to read if you want to know a little bit more about segmentation or dynamic content, and it has a way to sign up to receive email marketing tips in your inbox. And like I said, you can access this page by visiting that link there, and I do include it on the next slide as well. So thank you so much for joining. I hope this was helpful to you in creating highly personalized email content. As a reminder, get the slides, resources I mentioned at that link below. You can also download a guide on getting started with email marketing if you haven't yet, over at the link there. So I hope you all enjoy the rest of FinCon X, and I hope to connect with you all soon. Thank you so much again for joining, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.